What happens when a Hollywood outsider meets centuries-old royal protocol? It's a question that, 8 years on, still echoes through the halls of Windsor Castle and across the world's headlines. Meghan Markle, an American actress with her own sense of style and independence, stepped into a world defined by tradition, hierarchy and rules that have shaped the British monarchy for generations. But what really happens when two worlds collide? One built on centuries of ritual, the other on modern ideals of individuality and change. Spoiler, it's not all tiaras and tea parties. Behind the glittering facade of royal events, there's a complex web of expectations, silent glances, and unspoken rules. For Meghan, every step into this world was a lesson in what it means to be royal, and what it means to be different. The world watched as she navigated the tightrope between tradition and authenticity, sometimes stumbling, sometimes soaring, but always under the watchful eyes of the public and the palace. Alternate opening. What I wish I'd known at Meghan's first curtsy. Sometimes it's not just about bending the knee, but about who's watching. That first curtsy wasn't just a gesture, it was a test of belonging, of respect, of understanding the weight of centuries-old customs. And as Meghan dipped her knee, cameras flashed, royal family members observed, and the world began to form its opinions. And trust me, the royal family is always watching. Every move, every word, every smile or slip is noted, analysed and remembered. For newcomers, the pressure is immense. For Meghan, it was a crash course in royal life, with little room for error and even less for interpretation. 8 years ago, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's Windsor wedding was supposed to unite the royals. The world tuned in to witness a fairy tale, a modern prince marrying a woman from outside the royal fold. The crowds gathered, the bells rang, and for a moment it seemed like the monarchy was embracing a new chapter. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Instead, it set off a chain reaction of drama, and at the heart of it all, protocol. The rules that govern everything from how to greet the Queen to what colour nail polish is acceptable became battlegrounds for identity and acceptance. The media pounced on every misstep, every deviation from tradition, turning private moments into public controversies. Think curtsying, dress codes, and the infamous bridesmaid dress row with Kate. Each incident became a symbol of something bigger. The struggle between old and new, between following the rules and forging your own path. The bridesmaid dress row, in particular, became a flashpoint. Was it about fabric and fit, or about power and precedent? For Kate, royal rules were gospel. She'd studied, she'd waited, she'd mastered the art of deference. Years of preparation had taught her how to move, how to speak, how to blend into the tapestry of royal tradition. She was the model of royal composure, the embodiment of continuity. Meghan? Not so much. Her approach was different, more spontaneous, more American, more willing to question why things were done a certain way. Sometimes that meant breaking the rules. Sometimes it meant simply not knowing them. But always it meant standing out. She saw protocol as more like helpful suggestions. For Meghan, authenticity mattered more than adherence. She wanted to connect, to be real, to bring her own values into the royal sphere. But in a world where every gesture is loaded with meaning, even small acts of individuality can spark controversy. Cue the culture clash. The palace, steeped in tradition, met Meghan's modernity with skepticism. The result? Awkward moments, tense exchanges, and a growing sense that Meghan and Harry were outsiders in their own family. The divide grew, not just between individuals, but between world views. Every side-eye, every dress fitting, every "should I really curtsy right now?" became headline news. The press dissected every interaction, fueling speculation and amplifying tensions. What might have been minor misunderstandings became front-page scandals, feeding a narrative of conflict and division. Was it about tradition or control? For some, the rules are what hold the monarchy together, giving it legitimacy and gravitas. For others, they're a way to enforce conformity and suppress individuality. Meghan's presence forced the royal family and the public to confront these questions head-on. And 8 years later, did the monarchy lose its shot at modernising by pushing Meghan away? The departure of Harry and Meghan from royal duties was more than a family rift. It was a turning point. It raised questions about the future of the monarchy, about who belongs, and about whether tradition can coexist with change. So, royal watchers, in this battle of old versus new, whose side are you on? Is the monarchy stronger when it holds fast to tradition, or when it opens its doors to new ideas and new people? The debate rages on, in living rooms, on social media, and in the corridors of power. Over the past 8 years, the story of Meghan and Harry has played out not just in palaces and private meetings, but in the glare of the world's media. Every headline, every tweet, every opinion piece has added fuel to the fire. The couple's every move is scrutinized, their motives questioned, their choices debated endlessly. But beyond the drama, there's another story, a story of two people trying to make a difference. Meghan and Harry have used their platform to champion causes close to their hearts, from mental health to racial equality. Their work has inspired millions, even as it's drawn criticism from traditionalists. Meanwhile, the rest of the royal family has carried on, upholding the rituals and responsibilities that define their roles. For some, this continuity is reassuring, a sign that the monarchy endures, no matter the challenges. For others, it's a missed opportunity for growth and renewal. The couple's decision to speak out, to share their side of the story in interviews and documentaries, was unprecedented. It shattered the royal code of silence, bringing private grievances into the public eye. The fallout was immediate and intense, with supporters and critics alike weighing in. Experts and commentators have debated what it all means. Was Meghan's experience unique, or part of a larger pattern? Is the monarchy capable of adapting, or is it destined to repeat the same mistakes? The answers are as complex as the institution itself. To understand the present, we have to look to the past. Royal protocol has evolved over centuries, shaped by changing times and changing monarchs. What was once unthinkable, divorce, marrying a commoner, even showing emotion in public, is now part of royal life. But change comes slowly, and not without resistance. Meghan and Harry's approach was different from the start. They wanted to use their roles for good, to connect with people on a personal level. For many, this was refreshing, a sign that the monarchy could be more than just ceremony and spectacle. But the palace operates on its own logic. Every detail, from seating charts to speech scripts, is governed by protocol. For newcomers, the learning curve is steep, and the consequences of getting it wrong can be severe. Even fashion became a battleground. Meghan's choices, bare shoulders, dark nail polish, even the fit of her hats, were dissected and debated. Was she breaking the rules, or simply bringing her own flair to royal style? The answer depended on who you asked. Through it all, Harry stood by Meghan's side. His own relationship with the royal family was complicated, shaped by loss, duty, and a desire for something different. Together they faced the storm, sometimes united, sometimes divided by the pressures around them. Family gatherings became fraught with tension. What should have been moments of celebration were overshadowed by whispers, glances, and the ever-present question: could Meghan and Harry ever truly belong? Despite the challenges, the couple found ways to thrive. Their work with the Invictus Games, their charitable initiatives, and their willingness to speak out have left a lasting impact. For many, they represent a new kind of royalty, one that's open, engaged, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. But tradition still holds sway. The annual rituals, the pageantry, the sense of continuity, these are the things that give the monarchy its mystique. For some, they're a source of pride. For others, they're a barrier to progress. Today, Meghan and Harry have built a new life far from the palace walls. In California, they've found freedom, privacy, and a chance to raise their children on their own terms. But the shadow of the monarchy still looms large, shaping their choices and their public image. The British public remains divided. For some, Meghan and Harry are heroes, symbols of courage and change. For others, they're outsiders who didn't respect the rules. The generational divide is stark, with younger people often more sympathetic to Meghan's perspective. The legacy of that Windsor wedding is still being written. The souvenirs, the headlines, the memories, they're all part of a story that's far from over. As the monarchy faces new challenges, the lessons of the past 8 years will shape its future. 8 years on, the story of Meghan, Harry and the royal protocol drama that changed everything is a reminder of how hard it is to balance tradition and change. It's a story of love and loss, of hope and disappointment, of two people who dared to be different in a world that demands conformity. As the sun sets over Windsor Castle, the questions remain. Can the monarchy adapt to a changing world? Can it welcome outsiders without losing itself? And what does it really mean to be royal in the 21st century? One thing is certain, the world will be watching, and the next chapter is just beginning.